So here's why we care about ventilation. Ventilation is diluting all of the aerosols that can potentially accumulate in a space while we're breathing. So this would be the reason why we all get sick in Vermont or in any building in the winter when we're spending almost 90% of our time indoors. This is example that I'm showing here. This is an extreme example. Again, we're looking at a closed box, but it's a really good way to visualize those invisible effects of why a room might feel stuffy after 30 to 60 minutes that doesn't have adequate ventilation. We want to make sure that we have the necessary ventilation in place based on what's going on in that room. So whether it's a room with one person or 50 people, right, we're going to need to take that into account, because the more people that are breathing in that room, the more CO2 and potential aerosols that could be carrying any sort of virus. This is what we want to be able to dilute with that ventilation air. And really, ventilation is the only thing that's going to dilute those higher CO2 levels. That's why this is not just a pandemic response presentation. This is really important to understand the effects of the health of our indoor spaces now and going forward, because this is something that I feel like everyone's going to be paying a little more attention to in terms of not being in closed boxes or minimally ventilated rooms in the winter. This is what it looks like when we have adequate ventilation. So we want that constant dilution of any of those aerosols and CO2. And that means we don't have that buildup over time. As the people are breathing and any of those contaminants are building up, we're continuously diluting them. And that's that ventilation rate that we talked about earlier and looking at some of those examples. I think that we've all felt this. Probably think back to a time when you were sitting either in a hotel conference room or a meeting room or even in your office. Conference rooms this happens all the time, where there's a large group of people that congregate. It can feel really stuffy after 15, 20, 30 minutes. And it seems the longer you're in there, the stuffier it feels. I know I've been to meetings and hotel conference rooms where I can feel what the HVAC system is, because it goes from feeling really like latent heavy or stuffy, and then all of a sudden you get chilled and it feels dry. It's because there's not a continuous dilution of all of the latent energy that's building up in the room. It's cycling on and off. And again, we want to tie all of this to occupant comfort. And we know that the better designed systems that are continuously diluting and continuously ventilating, those are going to be the most comfortable spaces to be in.